Hey folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's live trading action video. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here. Today's date is Wednesday, October 14th, 2015. Well, folks, markets are down slightly on the day. We did come off the lows of the day because we hit a major support level on the SPY. This is the SPY, which matches the S&P 500. And as you can see, again, yesterday we started a sell-off. I put out my one video yesterday saying short these stocks, and so far that has been dead on. I'll go over a couple of the names. But again, any stock that was dramatically overbought, you wanted to look to short yesterday, earlier in the afternoon. And look at the fall after I put out that video. Just a beautiful collapse to the downside. All right, markets continued down this morning into key support. Why is this key support? Look at this pivot right here. All right, pivot right here. So again, you can see that, and it even goes back further. If I zoom out here, check this out, guys. See this gap fill? That's that level right here. Pivot low, pivot low, pivot low, gap fill. Watch those two lines together. They're going to go kind of wacky because they're moving across, and then they reemerge right here. Pivot highs right there. So it makes sense, and that's why I I sold my TZA, which is a 3 times short play. When you go long TZA, it's a 3 times short play on the S&P, on the Russell 2000, the IWM essentially. If we bring up the TZA, take a look at this, guys. And again, when we were at the highs of the day, that's where I got out of it. In fact, I got out at 47.25, 3 cents from the high of the day. Now it's starting to move back up, but bottom line is I have a bunch of shorts that I accumulated with the Research Center as well as puts with the Options Alerts members, and I think it's smart here to take a little bit off the table like on TZA because I made $3. So think about that, $3 gain, a huge nice gain in just a couple days on this. And again, if you just look at yesterday's move up here, that's your $3 right there. So again, a beautiful move, and I did take that off for almost a 7% gain in just a couple days. And I'm still holding on to my other shorts because we're going to see more downside. Yesterday in that video, I told you guys, look to short Alibaba. Look at Alibaba today. Dumped out, was down as much as $2+, now still down $1. That was a no-brainer as well. And there's a bunch of other ones as well that are starting to see some weakness out there that are coming back in that I mentioned in yesterday's video. So again, great stuff, guys. The big catalyst for today's downside, we obviously started to see a break point yesterday off of Fortress Capital. Fortress Capital basically saying they were going to shut one of their major funds, and we talked about if there's one bad fund, there's probably a ton of bad funds that are losing a ton of money. So that's number one. Then you throw in the economic news this morning, which was very, very poor economic news. Now that the Fed's on the sideline, the market doesn't want horrible economic news. Okay? So, I mean, think about that. It's bad news is now bad news again, even though 2 weeks ago bad news was good news. Now it's bad news is bad news again because we know the Fed's on the sidelines at least till 2016, in my opinion. Then you want to throw in a little bit of excess. Take a look at Walmart today. Walmart crushed, absolutely annihilated. This is a huge move on Walmart. You do not see Walmart drop almost 10% any time in a day. And why? Well, basically they said that the currency, the dollar is so strong, it's going to cause them to basically report $15 billion on the light side here in terms of when they switch the currencies from overseas back into U.S. dollars because of the strong dollar action. So all retailers are taking a beating. Walmart down, Home Depot, take a look at Home Depot. Down $1.65. By the way, Home Depot is one of the plays that we are short with the Research Center. We're making money here, looking good there. This should continue down. Target's been hammered today. We scalped Target in the intraday stock chat. Awesome scalping opportunities today as well. But again, I mean, just look at that negativity. I mean, think about the multinationals that are set to report earnings. I mean, we could hear some really ugly things from these multinationals like 3M, like McDonald's, like some of these other ones. Even Disney, Home Depot. I mean, some of these other plays, anything that sells things overseas is really running a risk of having some ugly news here in the next week or two in earnings season, and I think that's what the market's really freaking out about here and potentially could cause a bigger sell-off. So far, the one thing I will say with the negative economic news, Fortress Capital yesterday, and this Walmart news today, the markets are actually holding up relatively well, but that's because you hit a major support here. This support is huge. If this support breaks, and I told this to my members yesterday, if that support breaks, this market has a lot of downside. You have minor supports along the way, but in all fairness, the next big support level is until gap window and then gap fill right here. So, I mean, you could be looking at 196.50 and then 195 before you start to see any sort of major support. So, I mean, there's some intrigue here. There's some big stuff going on. Now, right now, the market's hanging in there, but watch this level here. This is your break point. Okay, and again, we're just making money hand over fist here. Research Center If you're a member there, you know exactly what's going on there, which is awesome. If you don't, if you're not a member, then take the 7-day free trial. If you're into options, the options alerts are rocking and rolling right now as we picked up a bunch of puts. Take a look at the website. You want to check out our track record for the Research Center. Click on the Research Center right there. Go down to the bottom of the page of the Research Center. By the way, there's your free trial button right there if you haven't ever been a member here. Here's everything you get. This is where the trade alerts come out live right there. Look at the track record right there. Click on it, and look at that, guys. TZA just got added to the track record. This is third-party verified. We have a third party putting up these alerts, the track record for us. Make sure that it's accurate. Has all our losses and gains for the year that we've opened and closed. And again, look at this, guys. Look at all these trades this year. I mean, literally 100-plus trades as swing trades this year, more than 100. I think probably about 150, maybe even 200. I'm sure we'll do over 200 by the end of the year. But look at that net gain, folks. And again, I always say that's if the 771% is if you put all your money in every trade. We would never recommend that. We like to play it conservative. So just think about this. Put just 10%. If you have a $100,000 portfolio, put $10,000 in each of these plays. You know what you'd be up this year? You know what freaking you'd be up? 77.1%. You'd have a return of 77%, we'll say. We'll round down. That is incredible. And we're talking about Fortress Capital closing one of their big funds because it's down almost 20% for the year. You know how many hedge funds are? The average hedge fund is negative on the year. And if you're a member here, if you're just an average investor as a member here, and you've just been consistently taking 10% positions on every trade alert we've done all year long, you're literally up north of 75%, 77%. Incredible. That's what it's all about, folks. Can't stress that enough. You want to see the track record for the options alerts? Go to the options page, and again, Research Center options. These are your two main things that you want to focus on right here, guys. Research Center for trading stocks, and options for options trades, obviously. Here's the options alerts track record, 3,000 net % gain. Just again, assume that you're doing 10% positions. You're up 300% on the year. 300. Sick, right? And here's every third-party verified. And you can see there's losers in there. But again, it's the net gain. So, you know, you have some losers, but then the winners just blow them all out of the water, and the net gain, when you subtract the losers from the winners, is still 3,000%. So again, we'll just say 300%. I think that's fair. 300%, which would be if you just put 10% in each position. Incredible. All right, guys. Again, come join us, inthemoneystocks.com. That's our website. I'm sure you've heard of us before, and we just continue to perform. We've been around since 2007 giving trade alerts. We have a membership base that basically has stayed with us the whole entire time. We have members literally that were with us in 2007 staying with because they just consistently get great setups and trades. And we're proud of that. We're proud of our consistency. We're not a fly-by-night shop that, like so many of these other websites that give you horrible calls, you lose all your money, and you're out in a month. You know, this is consistency. We find the trade alerts based off the PPT methodology, and we rock it. All right, guys, come join us. Take care. Let's make some money.